Hi, and welcome to Unraveled on Sandy's Numerology. Firstly, I'm going to look at Henri to give you a positive spin on his numbers. He is born on the 1st of the 11th, which adds in total to a 3. Born in 1994, which gives him an 8 life path. His full-born names add to a 6. His Henri's a 9. His Christo's an 11. Van Breda is a 4. And Henri van Breda is also a 4. Who is Henri? He's independent. He's self-driven. He's a visionary. He has the ability to achieve more in various aspects of his choosing within his life. He's got double hidden 3s, which makes him very soft, gentle, smiling. Got quite a happy nature. He's got an 8 life path, which brings in physicality, communication, and sport. His full-born names says he's full of ideas. His Henri is where the thinker is. And he's quite a person who is a loner, but he likes to lead the pack. Van Breda and Henri van Breda are 4s, which is very earth, metal and wood, so he would like the outdoors and nature and quite grounded. But if we look at the negative of Henri, is he's all about the self. He's all about me, myself, and I. And that's actually who he's meant to be. But because he's got triple 1s, makes him be even more self-serving. His double 3s make him manipulative, game-playing. It shows he's leaning towards his mother and sister. His mother was his way round to get to his father, without a doubt. He was the manipulator. He knew how to use his mom to get what it was that he needed. His 8 life path, which is the communication area, because it's in his life path, it's about miscommunication. It's not about what he says, it's about how he says it. And it can be aggressive to the point of violence. His Henri van Breda is his obsessive compulsive. His Henri is overthinking. And Van Breda and his name Henri van Breda is about control. So we put that all together with this self-driven miscommunication, drama, manipulative, game-playing, obsessive, overthinking. He has an 11-2, which is threatening. He's born on the 11th month, that's even more threatening. And his 4s is calculated, control. But if we look at his Henri van Breda, is when he has a thought and wanting something, if he's not going to get it, it's about the control issue, where when he's not in control, he is out of control. So to go to the day before an event, it's always important, because you never really know the timing of things, but something will always happen before the event. So I'm looking at the 26th of January in 2015, and that day has got 2 6s, 8s, double 9s and triple 1s, and it bounces on all of Henri's numbers because he's got all of those numbers. So there were 7 1s on the day, which add his numbers in the day. There was double 2s, there was double 6s, there was double 8s, there was triple 9s, and there was an 11-2. And Henri's got every single one of those numbers. So that day before the crime, was all about Henri, and it speaks of finger pointing and blaming and shouting and trying to gain some kind of understanding. And that day before and the night before would show that Henri was reacting to the events of that day and that evening, and he went inside of his head, and he was bullish, he was angry, and with all of these ones and all of his ones put together was all about what he wanted. And that day was telling you that what he wanted, his parents said no to him. We go to the early morning of the crime the following day, the 27th of the 1st, and we start to bring in his numbers again. 2s, 4 1s, a 9 and an 11 2. So now we've got 6 1s, 2 2s, we've got double 9s, double 11s, 3s and 4s, and the 3s and 4s are in all of Henri's numbers. And that day is so interesting because he was thinking again totally of himself, but the outcome of the day was an 11 2. So it became a threatening day. We even go to the morning after the crime, and again it brings in all of Henri's numbers: the 28, the 2, the 8 of January, the 1s, double hidden 11s, and an outcome 3, which is all his numbers thrown together. Is it gets even worse. So my point that I'm trying to make is when something bad is going to happen to you by somebody else, there's a lot of collective of numbers and they impact. But just the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th were all, if bar 1 or 2 numbers, all of Henri's numbers. And that he was also in a 111 year will just highlight everything about the self, and it's about the things that he wanted that he couldn't have anymore. So now we fast track to 2018 when Henri van Breda is found guilty of 3 murders, 1 attempted murder, and defeating the ends of justice. And the day was the 21st, that adds to a 3, of May. It's a double 5s. The outcome is a 1, but it's also got double hidden 8s. So what it's bringing in, it's now bringing in the rest of the family, with the 5s bringing in mother and Rudy and his father. But the impact of the numbers of that day brings in 6 1s, 2 2s, 3 3s, double 4s, double 5s, triple 8s, and a 9 and an 11. However, Henri is now 22 years of age, and he's in a 3-4 year, and he will remain 22 years of age until November of 2018, and this is not good. The reason why I'm saying that this is not good for Henri is a date of birth is one thing, but a person's name in conjunction tells you a much bigger story. And if we look under Henri's name, Henri at the age of 22 turning 23, but let's stick to the age of 22, he has a triangle of a double 11, so 2 11s adds to a 22 that adds to a 4. He is the age 22, which adds to a 4. And this brings in his incarceration. If he had been a person that this event hadn't happened, this would have been so powerful for him. This would have put him in such a good status or position or title, own business, property even. But under his names, from the age of 20, he had a 111, and that's exactly his date of birth. It was exactly the same two numbers that he had when the crime was committed, and now that he is 22, he now falls under his age of 22 turning 23, where he's 22, and this 22 is powerful. And what is important now is we're going to the date of Henri van Breda's sentencing. Henri van Breda is to be sentenced on the 5th of June, which adds to an 11-2, and the day adds to a 22-4. Again, the impact of the month of June, the double 11s, and the outcome 22-4 is so important, because under his name he's got this double 11 to 22-4 triangle. That day is where the doors get closed on Henri.